everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Triangle Strategy. This is episode 23. We just sent House Telior packing. So now we get to see how butchered House Fox is, I'm assuming. Because I'm not putting a lot of stock.
Somehow, I must survive.
Wow. Rufus is gonna catch you and kill you.
Escaping all on your own, I see.
Rufus, what are you doing here?
He wants his money, bitch.
I came to collect my reward.
Reward? Since when were losers ever rewarded?
I remember our deal differently.
As do I. I was promised an invincible executioner. You are nothing but a fraud. A sheep in wolf's clothing.
You're about to get an executioner, Silvio. You dingus.
What's so funny?
I have a new deal for you. Pay me what I'm owed or die.
I cannot give you what I do not possess. But if you kill me now, you will have lost to Wolffort with nothing to show for it.
No, do it.
Go on.
If you let me live, on the other hand, I will find the coin to pay you. What do you say? Do we have a deal?
Kill him.
Fine. But if I don't get that money, consider your life forfeit.
He ain't gonna get that money. He ain't ever gonna get that money. Alright. No, I think we just keep going. I think I'm gonna get into the scenario of, like, we only check the encampment right before battle, basically. And of course, just like that, Falx is unable to repel Avlora. Falx isn't even unable to repel Avlora. Landroy is unable to just hole up and not get murked by Avlora. You have a castle. If you're unable to beat them on the field, hole up, do a siege.
I know how loyal you were to the late King Regna. We may be enemies, but you still have my respect. I would invite you to join our ranks.
You would dishonor me so.
I prefer it to your death.
Save your pity for someone who needs it. Your master will never have our loyalty, even if it means the end of the three high houses. Your Majesty, I serve you even in death.
Fucking weak. Really expected, I don't know, a little something more from Landroy. I wonder if Landroy has, like, a son or a daughter that we can maybe recruit. I'm just rolling my eyes at the narrative.
His plot foiled and bested in battle by House Wolffort, Silvio Telior flees, leaving everything behind. House Falx fights valiantly, but ultimately loses to General Avlora's army, and joins their late king in death. Of Glenbrook's three high houses, Wolffort, Telior, and Falx, two are felled by the iron hammer of Esfrost.
Not quite.
House Wolffort now stands alone, in more peril than ever.
In comes
two of
Hyzant.
Glenbrook's 3 high houses have fallen. Esfrost's invasion took me by surprise at first, but this is quite the interesting turn.
Now Wolffort stands alone, having lost both the crown and its allies. There is no better time for us to act.
Alright,
Then
Egghead,
let us set the
what's your
trap,
play?
brimming with bait enough to lure them in and keep them there.
Who's them and they?
As you command. The famed High House of the Saltiron War will soon be under your thumb, my lord. Having control of their land will make our deliveries that much easier.
Indeed, and House End will prosper more than ever. Brute strength is not the only path to victory. A truly wise man can win without ever drawing his sword.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy killing you two. There's a whole lot of people in this game that I'm gonna enjoy killing. If I ever actually get to kill anyone.
My lord, a bird
Everyone
from
always
Sorsley
runs
End
away.
of Hyzant has arrived. He has offered to send us provisions and funds in light of our situation.
A most welcome offer, to be sure, but
For what?
why would he extend a helping hand to us now? Could he be after something?
Yeah, no shit.
Undoubtedly, there are regrettably none so altruistic amongst the Saintly Seven. Seeing as Minister Sorsley has never shown much interest in other nations, I can only surmise this is a ploy to put House Wolffort in his debt.
I don't give a shit. He can
As
send
I
us whatever he
suspected.
wants, but unless there's an
But our
agreement.
people and soldiers need all the help they can get.
Thanks for the donation to charity, my man.
Let us accept his proposal. We can deal with whatever ulterior motives he may have once we are back on our feet.
Understood.
Yeah, I don't give a
We
shit.
shall discuss our countermeasures at another time.
In your debt. Like, I give a fuck about being in your debt. Whatever. Ba-ba-ba-bum-ba-bum.
Congratulations on your victory in the Folk's Domain, General.
Thank you, sir. They were proud warriors. And Lord Landroy a formidable foe despite his age.
I imagine he was content to breathe his last on his beloved fields. 30 years have passed since the Saltiron War. It was time he was put to rest beside that bygone era.
Rude.
Avlora, it is time you had a rest as well.
What do you mean by
Wanna
that,
grab
Your
some water?
Grace?
Your soldiers have fought long and hard. Any longer and their morale may suffer for it.
But what of House Wolffort? Prince Roland is still with them. Is that not cause for concern?
There are no lords left worth worrying about. House Wolffort stands alone after Roland's uprising.
Even so, we would do well not to underestimate them. Even standing alone, they once changed the course of the Saltiron War.
Ha!
House Wolffort is no longer the hunter, but the hunted. Or do you believe you understand something that I do not, General?
Yeah, she's gotten her ass kicked by us before.
No. Forgive me, Your Grace.
Oh, you should have stood your ground on that one, Avlora. You were totally in the right. Okay. It's been a while since we saved. Let's save real quick.
You wish to speak to me, Your Highness?
Roland, I'm
wish
sick
to
of
leave
your
the Wolford
shit.
domain.
And you want me to persuade Lord Serenoa?
Yes.
I am sick
Though I
of
doubt he
your
will welcome the
fucking
conversation
shit,
after
Roland.
the scales have spoken. But the people are tired. Their expression's grim. And this castle is no different.
Even so, the decision was made together.
Yes. But I think we all know that I am at the source of our troubles. The responsibility ultimately falls to me.
No, unacceptable. What are you doing, Otis Botus?
If you truly wish to take responsibility, then I do have an idea.
And I would hear it.
Give me that ring.
But this is proof that I belong to the royal family. What would you do with it?
Have you die for your people.
Stupid. I don't understand this game's concept of medieval politics. Like, Roland is now king of Glenbrook. Literally taking to the field against an invasionary force, he would probably be able to rally the remaining forces of House Tellior and House Falks and have pretty massive recruitment. Granted, the recruitment would probably be pretty shit because, you know, faking his death would take a lot of heat off of Wolfort. Why? Right? Like, oh, Prince Roland is dead. House Wolfort is still a rebellious high house, unless they immediately bent the knee to Esfrost immediately afterwards. But in doing something like that, right, like in bending the knee to to Esfrost and faking the prince's death, you make it that much higher for Roland as the legitimate heir to the kingdom to be able to come back later and be like, I'm reclaiming my kingdom, right? It's just one of the high houses turned on you entirely over Roland. Yeah, and that was stupid too. Like the concept that Tellior's not gonna fight. Tellior's not gonna fight. Tellior's too cowardly to fight. They're not gonna fight. They're not gonna join us against Esfrost to fight. They're not gonna do anything. Too cowardly. Too cowardly. All of a sudden, they're gonna come fight us on their own. It's... Anyways. Travis and Trish. Oh, I know what this is about to be. This is about to be freaking what's his face? Yep.
Hey boss, come take a look at this.
Yep. I called it right when it happened. I was like, that motherfucker ain't dead. He gonna wake up. He's gonna wake up later on with amnesia or some shit. It's just the way that they're playing out the reaction between the different factions, the way that they're being so loosey-goosey by, like, Esfrost has the time to attack here, march way over here, and do a elite strike force on this location before any other forces do anything, right? Like, the time is wibbly-wobbly, the decisions that the houses are making is wibbly-wobbly, right? Like, the fact that, you know, like, Falks, for example, right? Absolutely would have, from what he said himself, would have worked with House Wolfort. And then they just never do. It's like, okay, what is the decision-making process? It just doesn't make any sense.
Well,
like,
maybe not so poor, judging by these clothes.
why is it Travis and Trish that find him? That's so funny.
Hey, Pa! Remember what I said about that reward money?
course I do. This might just be it.
Actually, oh, okay, never mind. So this isn't what's his face. This is the faked Roland. Yeah, there's the ring.
Pa, take a look at this.
All right, so I'm less excited compared to what I thought I was.
A shiny ring, huh? Is that the royal emblem? This has got to be Prince Roland.
This type of scenario that just, again, also doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, we're gonna fake Prince Roland's death, right? What?
The corpse is regrettably too damaged to identify, but the royal signet is unmistakable.
They would be incredibly skeptical, right? Of Prince Roland just suddenly showing up on a riverbank dead, right? You don't think Gustadolf, who is supposed to be this incredible mastermind, wouldn't be like, that's suspicious.
Aside from Cordelia, there is only one who would wear the royal family's ring. There can be no doubt. This is Prince Roland.
Excuse me, Your Grace, but about that reward.
Thalas, give them their coin.
Yes, brother.
Thank you kindly for your generosity, Your Grace.
I don't expect that to go super well for them.
What a waste. Is this truly how the kingdom of Glenbrook meets its end?
I can't... The way they depict Gustadolf is that he is... One, he has a excellent spy corps, right? You know, because of the whole scenario with Dragon. And he's depicted as this hyper-intelligent strategist who knows how people think and is several steps ahead of them, right? That's why we're supposed to be able to believe that he was able to pull off this attack on Glenbrook in the way that he did and assassinate Dragon in the way that he did, etc., etc. And then we're also supposed to believe that he's just like, yeah, this, you know, Prince Roland, who we've protected tooth and nail, just suddenly shows up on the river, dead.
House Wolfort are no fools. Their friend was only a liability.
Oh, so
They have spared themselves by forsaking the prince.
If we were going to do that, wouldn't the logical thing have been to just turn him over to Tellior and avoid the battle with Tellior and weakening both of our houses? Or if we were like, fuck Tellior, wouldn't it have been beat the shit out of Tellior and then reach out to Gustadolf and say, hey, we'll turn Prince Roland over to you for clemency. We're tired of fighting, right? Like, why would the move be kill him and dump him in the river? He's the crown prince, for God's sake. That is the worst utilization of a bargaining chip I could ever imagine.
They may have escaped, but there are none who would help them. There is no reason for us to concern ourselves with House Wolfort any longer.
A shame.
Your poor brother, betrayed by his most trusted friend.
Y'all are idiots.
Oh, Roland.
I get that the corpse was, you know, it was in a river, decayed, unrecognizable, right? But even Cordelia isn't suspicious. Even his sister isn't like, hold up. This body's a little too short, a little too tall, a little too fat. Doesn't have, you know, this birthmark or I don't know, whatever, right? Like there's nothing, right? Like she's not gonna be even a hair suspicious.
The news of Prince Roland's death spreads across the land like wildfire.
Okay.
With his demise, seemingly comes the end of the Kingdom of Glenbrook.
Yeah. Which is a
but
problem.
Only days later, a proclamation is made that would bind Esfrost and Glenbrook.
Cordelia wedding.
Bearer of the royal signet and last heir to the throne of Glenbrook, Cordelia is to ascend as queen.
And marry...
and wed Archduke Gustadolf.
Yep, that's to be expected. Yeah. See, now that makes sense from a legitimate, you know, standpoint.
Princess Cordelia is to wed the Archduke? What is the meaning of this? Gustadolf is the very one who invaded Glenbrook.
Oh.
But King Regna is to blame for trying to monopolize the mines.
What does it matter who the princess weds as long as Glenbrook lives on?
It damn well matters to me.
My people, our days of late have been dark and filled with strife.
Not going to be ruling with a firm hand, I see.
Both Glenbrook and Esfrost have suffered countless losses.
It'd be hilarious if we come to find out that Cordelia is the mastermind behind everything. That is not an actual theory, but that would be really funny.
And we have lost both of our beloved princes. For that, I offer you my deepest condolences. May they all rest in peace. As you all know, my father was sentenced to death for his role in this tragic event. But how do we come to grips with our sorrow and anger? How do we atone for our mistakes?
Esfrost does not deserve your forgiveness! Do not submit to Gustadolf's will!
You're getting stabbed tonight, if not immediately.
Let us recognize our sins as such and move forward.
Stop drinking the Kool-Aid, Cordelia. Resist.
Gustadolf has
What's he gonna do? Is he gonna kill
given us
you?
Another chance.
Like, okay, if he kills you, right, then he loses legitimate claim to the throne of Glenbrook, right? At that point, if he kills you, he is seen as nothing but an invading tyrant. And that matters to people, right? The people might not be able to unseat him necessarily, not on their own. But if a legitimate heir, say Prince Roland, were to reveal himself to the people would rally to the legitimate heir.
A chance to see Glenbrook to a fair and free future. As the queen of this kingdom, I, Cordelia of House Glenbrook, do hereby accept the warmth and governance of Esfrost, and swear to do everything in my power to usher in an age of peace with the Archduke.
With all due respect, sir, I do not believe Queen Cordelia to be fit for ruling Glenbrook.
He doesn't intend on Queen Cordelia to rule anything. He intends on him ruling it.
She does not need to be. She is to be our figurehead. A place for the people to focus both their hope and discontent. And while the poor people of Glenbrook stumble in the dark, we shall establish a new government, one based in freedom. Once the people have had a taste of true freedom Esfrost would offer them, there will be no turning back. By the time Cordelia births an heir, both this kingdom and its people will belong solely to Esfrost.
I would be loath to stand upon a political battlefield. It is far more heartless than those of war.
I am simply breathing new life into a kingdom of tired traditions. The people will thank me for it in time.
Yeah, okay.
Father, my brothers, I swear to avenge you.
Alright, Cordelia, good fucking luck. I guess start poisoning people, because that's the shot that you got. Alright, yeah, fuck it. I'm exasperated.
Prince Roland, have you heard about the address at the capital?
I have.
I won't forgive them for making Her Highness say such horrible things.
Enough, Huet.
But they lied about the king's death. They made it seem like Gustadolf was justified.
Say no more. If Cordelia can endure this, so can we. And as long as she lives, that is enough for me.
Forgive me, Your Highness.
We all understand how you feel, Prince Roland.
No, I apologize. I lost control.
Also,
thinking about it will do us no good. We must rise to action.
I'm gonna throw this out there. I also hate the development of Roland and Benedict deciding to fake Roland's death, because it invalidates all of the decisions that we've made up to this point in the game. We made the decisions not to turn over Roland, right? We made the decisions, and not just from a player standpoint, but as Lord Serenoa, right? Like, we fought for Roland, right? Our people died for Roland, defending Glenbrook as a kingdom. And then after we go through all of that, Roland and Benedict go behind our back and fake Roland's death, invalidating all of that effort, right? Because what we were doing was preserving a rebellion, right? Or not really a rebellion, right? Because we're not rebelling against a force, right? We were preserving a defense against an invasionary force, right? But now we have no legitimacy to resist Esfrost, because if Prince Roland is dead and Queen Cordelia asks us to submit to to Esfrost, right? Then we lose all of our legitimacy. So it feels like we've been pigeonholed into a scenario where the choices that we made previously do not matter, and all of the death that has led up to this point has been pointless. Because if we had just given Roland over in the beginning, none of this would have happened. So we were force-fed our cake and then required to throw it back up, basically. So that's really not a fun scenario.
Indeed we must. Everyone knows of your death now. That means we are free to make our next move.
What's our next move?
Listen, my friends. Prince Roland of Glenbrook is dead. I am now merely Roland, a warrior who fled a fallen kingdom.
You would probably
I
need a
humbly
name
ask for your
change.
support until the sun shines
Also,
upon our royal
probably
line
cut
once
off all
again.
your hair and change your clothing. Oh.
Is that Sir Maxwell?
He just becomes Sir Maxwell, basically.
Mask. You look just like Sir Maxwell.
Oh, God.
This is a secret that shall stay within House Wolford.
Master, grant me the strength to free our home from Esfrost's clutches.
Would be cool if he got off his horse now, but that's not what I'm assuming is gonna happen. Oh, Daddy Dearest.
How is he doing?
Better than before. He groans in pain from time to time, though.
I see. I wish I could tell Father about our situation now, but...
Lord Serenoa, if your father were awake, I am certain he would praise you for safeguarding Wolford.
I'm sure...
Sad to say,
I'm
the
sure
real
he
trouble's only just
would
beginning.
say whatever the
I'll be damned
writers
if House N's protection comes
felt
for
like
free.
he needed to say.
No doubt the longer we stay, the steeper the price.
What protection? There is no protection.
Precisely.
They're not offering
Minister
us any...
Sorsley is not an altruistic soul.
All they sent us was
If you were in
supplies.
his shoes, what would you do?
I would squeeze us dry, then look for an opportunity to.
But we won't let that happen.
Of course not. Anna is already on the move.
Squeeze us dry.
It is our duty to protect and guide this house.
This heart ain't changed since the day Lord Simon took me in, lad. I'm ready to put my life on the line for this house. We'll get past this, one way or another. You'll see.
Thank you so much. Both of you.
Wow. Okay. Let's go to Twinsgate. At Twinsgate, the death of an ardent youth changes the fate of one man. Ah! Svarog is gonna learn about the death of Dragon, I'm assuming here.
Lord Svarog, the body of Lord Dragan has...
So my son has finally returned home. I will be there soon. Is something the matter?
I think it better not to look, my lord.
And why is that?
His face. There is no vestige of the handsome lad he once was.
Well, it's been several days at this point, at least, if not longer.
Oh, my son. I understand. You are dismissed. I am so sorry, my boy. Please forgive your pitiful excuse for a father. I will find the one who did this to you. I swear it.
Okay. So we've made yet another enemy there. Because I'm sure he'll end up blaming us rather than, you know, Regna, who was officially blamed for it, or Gustadolf. Maybe we'll be able to turn Gustadolf against him, I don't know. Sweltering heat at the source parches the very hearts of men. Really curious about the history of the Rosellans. Like, why did this happen?
Water.
On your feet.
Water, please.
Get back to work. You aren't the only one who's thirsty.
No setbacks, I presume?
None, sir. We are already well ahead of schedule.
Splendid. The ledger, if you would.
Yes, sir.
I would hate for there to be a problem with our numbers. I will hold on to this for now.
Of course, sir.
Water.
Put the poor thing out of its misery, Booker.
Well, there goes my hopes of Booker being a cool guy that we could eventually recruit.
Show them the slightest mercy, and they'll think they deserve more.
Yes, sir.
You just fucked up a lot of salt there, just saying. Guess you could, like, sell it as pink salt. Alright, Anna, what's up? What you doing, fam?
I see. So there is an illicit salt trade held outside the auspices of the Norzelia Consortium.
Is that what Sorsley's talking about with his deliveries and the ledger? Right, so he's basically skimming salt off the top and doing illegal trade to line his own pockets. Alright.
In this business, you cannot avoid rumors even if you try.
Why would the Norzelia Consortium even matter at this point, though? Like, with the invasion of Glenbrook by Esfrost, I would imagine the Norzelia Consortium is basically defunct at this point. Esfrost, the only reason the Consortium really works is because it's Esfrost's iron, Hyzant's salt, and Glenbrook's grain, or food, basically, is my assumption there, right? So, like, with Esfrost controlling both grain and iron...
They say sneaking under the Consortium's nose is well worth the risk, but I am not so bold.
And who is behind all this?
I wish I could say.
I am not asking you to tell me for free.
How generous of you. It's but a rumor, of course, but... They say none other than Minister End in Hyzant is pulling the strings. And some free advice for you, my friend? You'd do well not to get involved.
Why?
I'm afraid that will cost a separate fee. Why, thank you.
Why, thank you, and then they don't give us the information. Hopefully Anna will give us that later. Alright. Frederica voices her doubts, please and thank you. Someone start voicing doubts about the overall... Several days later. This whole thing is so wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey.
Serenoa, do you have a moment? I was hoping to talk to you about our marriage. Now that Glenbrook has been brought to ruin by Esfrost, is there any meaning to our union?
My brother may have been planning this from the start. And yet I came to Wolffort with the intent of marrying you, completely unaware of it. It's always like this. Nothing ever goes as I would wish it. The course of my life has always been at the mercy of others.
As has mine.
Yeah, well, you're still
Almost
the
nothing
daughter
happens the way I thought it would.
of the prior
But you have a
Archduke,
home.
meaning that if we
Somewhere
can
you
defeat
can return to someday.
Gustadolf, you are a
surrounded by people who
legitimate
care about
replacement.
you.
So you're a
As do
very
you,
valuable
as
bargaining
a
chip.
member of House Wolffort. Your place is with us now.
Serenoa.
And though this may sound pretentious,
I mean, Sereno is giving the good answer.
this is a time for you to think about your future and what you must do, Frederica. Just as I am.
I suppose you are right. What must I do?
Here you are. Master Benedict has been searching for you both.
Understood. Let him know we will return at once.
Well, I just came out of my room, so it's not like I was exactly hiding. You know. Well, I assume that's my room. I don't know.
You said we received a delivery from Minister Sorsley.
Yes, mostly food and materials, plus a considerable amount of coin.
That is quite kind of him.
What does it matter if we're not fighting
House
against
End is
Deathfrost
a
anymore?
wealthy one, even by Hyzant's standards. This would barely put a dent in their coffers. We have distributed the resources as needed. We've even managed to restock our reserves.
Wish I could be happy for the help, but I can't say I am.
Agreed. Relying on them comes at a price. They will be looking for recompense.
I believe that to be their true aim.
That's not how that works.
But this is the path we chose to walk together.
Indeed. And as long as we stay the course, the winds of favor will someday be at our backs.
A missive from Minister Sorsley has arrived.
I see he wastes no time. What absurd request could he possibly have in store for us?
Nothing good, that's for sure.
He can make whatever request he wants. We didn't agree to anything. They want to fucking raise an army to come force us to pay? Have at it. Let's fucking go. Ah. We're gonna go to the encampment real quick. Check some things out. Because this is a Scales of Conviction moment. The Royalists and the Three Houses. Chronicles of Glenbrook's history compiled by analyst Siva. It covers the Royalist and the Three High Houses. The Hawk of Wolffort. Chronicles of Glenbrook's history compiled by analyst Silva. Covers House Wolffort. Those Who Heal the Ailing, a textbook compiled by the Norzelian Medical Association for Aspiring Medical Professionals. It covers the basics of medical. Beware of the Beautiful Bandit, a booklet reporting on incidents that occur around the realm. It covers rumors of a beautiful bandit seen around Glenbrook. We can promote a class. Promotion available for everyone. I don't know. I kind of feel like we're just going to go down the line. Promotion available for Roland, so. Does look kind of cool. Increased magic attack, magic defense, and strength.
This day shall be ours!
We got deal physical damage to an enemy and knock them back 3 squares. That's interesting. The weak attack, though. Flash of Steel unlocks at 15. Okay. Still sold out on things. Aha! Taking back the still no medals of valor to be farmed. Ay ay ay. Upgrade available for Huett's Spider Silk. Nice. Let's go ahead and do that then. Increased damage, obviously a very big deal. Increased accuracy. Effect duration of shadow stitching by 1 turn. Effect duration of blind by 1 turn. Increases your critical hit rate against enemies with 50% or less HP remaining. That is very interesting. I think we definitely want that first and foremost. And now we cannot afford another one, so there's that. So I'm pretty sure Surmount only costs 1, so I think this would make it free. You can basically just... That's really interesting to me. I definitely want to look into that. I want to get... We'll go for luck. Alright, well, that seems a good place as any to go ahead and end this episode. We're probably going to jump into some Tavern Brawls on the next video. So if you're watching on Twitch, stick around. We're going to keep playing. If you're watching on YouTube, hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time for more Triangle Strategy. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.